Hello, hello. It's Joanne Musa, the Tax Lien Lady. This is Tax Lien Investing Tips. And for those of you who don't know me, or this is your first time here, I am the founder of taxlienlady.com. I do these tips really for my clients, members of the Tax Lien Profits Accelerator, my members area, and my coaching clients. But I'm here so that everybody can take advantage of this. Okay, everybody can take advantage of these tips. So, tax lien investing and tax deed investing is different in every state. So, when you do come on to these lives, just say hello, let me know that you're here, and let me know what state you're from. So today we're talking about choosing where to invest. Actually, today's tip is about how to choose the best place for you to invest. Okay. Also, I want to let you know, I let everybody know when I started this live that I really do these for my members and for my coaching clients, but I do them here on my Facebook page so that everybody can take advantage of it. So if you know somebody who can take advantage of this information, share this. Share this live with them. Share it on your Facebook page. Okay, share it with your Facebook friends so that others can also take advantage of this. And hi, Augie, it's good to see you again. I want to let you know that I did open my membership up. It was closed, but I did open it up again. And I put in the comments, I put the link to find out more about the membership. Okay, if you're interested in being a member of the Tax Lien Profits Accelerator, which, by the way, guys, today we're talking about choosing where to invest. In the Tax Lien Profits Accelerator, I also give you access to something called Tax Sale Finders, which lets you know what tax sales are coming up across the country. And I've got three things here to consider when you're choosing where to invest. And the very first one is what tax sales are coming up. Now, that's important because some counties only have tax sales once a year. All right, there are tax lien sales, tax deed sales, and redeemable deed sales. If you are not sure what the difference is, I did talk about that I think in our last tax lien tip, but also on Tuesdays at 2 p.m., I do Ask the Tax Lien Lady Live, where you can come and ask me questions. And that would be a good time to do that if you don't understand what the difference is between a tax lien, a tax deed, and a redeemable deed. And some states will sell tax liens, some will sell tax deeds, and some will sell redeemable tax deeds. And hi, Tenny, nice to see you here. So the first thing to consider when choosing where to invest is what tax sales are coming up, because depending on what you want, you might have to wait until that sale is available if you want to invest in a certain state and they only have that tax sale once a year. But in the meantime, you can look into those same type of states that are coming up now, maybe in another state. So the first thing you want to find out is what tax sales are coming up. And the second thing you want to consider is where you live, right? Because let's say you're interested in tax lien investing, but you live in a deed state like California. I live in a deed state. I live in Pennsylvania, but I invest primarily in liens and redeemable deeds. So I'm very close to New Jersey, which is a tax lien state, and New York, which sells both deeds and liens. So I have options. I do a lot of investing in New Jersey for the fund that I'm a manager of. I also go to New York to tax sales in New York, and so do my clients that invest in liens. We do invest in Florida, but in Florida we do the online sales, okay? And we will be going into Indiana and South Carolina now. I have gone with clients to Indiana and South Carolina. As a matter of fact, you can have a VIP day with me where I will go with you to a tax sale. Okay, and that's something that I've been to Indiana, I've been to South Carolina with clients, I've been to Tennessee, not on a VIP day, but just on my own, looking to invest in the Tennessee redeemable deeds. So I've been to a lot of other states, and sometimes I haven't been to a state, but I have clients that have been there, and I have clients that have invested in Mississippi, in Michigan, and they've been successful in those states as well as others. But let's say you're in a state like Augie's in California, and Augie, if you wanted to invest in tax liens, where would you go? Well, I would look into the states that are closer to you. A lot of people from California like Arizona, but Arizona is not one of my favorite states, because the next thing, and I don't have it on my list of these three things, you also want to look at what happens in that state. What are the rules? Okay, and is it something you're comfortable with or not? I have gone to Arizona. I have invested in Arizona. But what I don't like about Arizona is the way they charge you for everything. When you pay subsequent taxes, they charge you to pay subsequent taxes. It's only $5, but still, I just don't like that. And it's a 3-year redemption period. I really like the states with a shorter redemption period, like 2 years or less. The shorter, the better. Hi, Kathy. Okay, so Kathy's in Florida. Florida does both deeds and liens. So I'm going through, the three things I have here. We've just been going through the first two so far. What sales are coming up and where do you live? So Kathy, when you're looking into what sales are coming up, you'll see that the Florida tax lien sales only happen in May. They only happen once a year in May, but they have deed sales all the time. So there will be deed sales coming up in Florida, and the fact that you live in Florida. Okay, but the next thing that you have to look at is how much money do you want to invest? Because deeds are usually a little more expensive than liens, especially in Florida. The interest rate gets bid down in Florida at the lien sale. At the deed sale, the price of the property gets bid up, right? So you can spend a lot more money at the deed sale than at the lien sale. Okay. So you need a little bit more money for deeds than you do for liens. So let's say that you don't have a lot of money to invest. Let's say you have $5,000 or less. That's probably not enough for deeds, but you live in a state like Florida and their tax sales are not until May. Well, you could wait until May, but I suggest that you don't do that, because I suggest that you get started now. So what tax sales are coming up now, and what other states are you near? Are you near Georgia? Because Georgia has redeemable deed sales. You still might need more than $5,000 though to invest in the redeemable deed sales, and they get bid up also. But you could target land, you could target properties, and you could even do that in Florida that doesn't get bid up as high. So you would look at like what states are around you that have tax sales that might not be so competitive, or might do a different way of bidding. So Georgia, they are still, it's a redeemable deed state, but they're still going to bid up the price of the property at the sale. So, and also South Carolina is a redeemable deed state too. And the same thing, they're going to bid up the price of the property at the sale. But it normally doesn't go as high. It's not as competitive as Georgia or Florida. So South Carolina might be a better bet. Before COVID, I had a VIP weekend with a client. We went to South Carolina, and he was able to buy 3 redeemable deeds for $15,000. So, and he bought 4 for $15,000. And the most expensive one he bought, like the highest amount of lien that he bought, I don't even think was $5,000. So you can buy a redeemable deed in South Carolina for $5,000 if you only have $5,000 to start with, but I'm probably only going to get one. All right. So, so that is how to choose where to invest. The three things that you have to keep in mind when you're choosing where to invest. what tax sales are coming up now, and I use something called tax sale finders to find out what tax sales are coming up all around the country, where you live, and maybe it's not just where you live, but maybe you have relatives in another state. I have a lot of relatives in New Jersey, but I also live close to New Jersey, okay? But it might also be where you like to vacation. All right, and just or a place that you lived before where you know the property values. Because I always suggest that it's great to start in your own backyard because you know the property values there. Okay, and then how much money do you want to invest? All right, because that's going to dictate what state you could go to based on what their bidding procedure is and whether they're selling liens or deeds. All right, so these are the three major things to consider when determining where to invest. Now, Thursday, I'm having a masterclass on evaluating tax sale properties. So the next step, once you decide where you're going to invest, right, is to get the information, get the tax sale list, and then the next step after that is to filter down that list and do the due diligence, research the properties and decide which ones to bid on. That is what I will be showing how to do in our tax sale success masterclass Thursday night. It's only $47. Now, if you're a member of the Tax Lien Profits Accelerator or you're a coaching client, you get to come to this for free. This is something I do for my members and coaching clients, but I let everybody else come for a very small fee. It's $47. And you don't just get to come live, you get the recording. You get lifetime access to the recording. So I will put the link in there for that as well if you'd like to register for that. It is at taxlienlady.com /tax hyphen sale hyphen success hyphen masterclass. And I'm just going to put that in here for you. All right. Okay, so I put that link in the comments for you. So go ahead and register. It's $47. You get access to the recording, and I will show you how you can easily and quickly determine which properties to bid on. Okay, and it's not what you might think. It's a lot easier with the right tools and resources. I'm going to show you the tools and resources that I use and that I make available to my members and coaching clients. All right, so tomorrow, I'll see you tomorrow at 9:30 a.m. Eastern, 6:30 a.m. Pacific. Gosh, Augie, my hat goes off to you. Thank you for coming here because you're on Pacific time and I know you're up early in the morning to be here. All right, so that is your short tip for this morning, and I will have another one for you tomorrow. And hopefully I will see you tomorrow night on in the masterclass. And tonight, by the way, is a coaching call with my coaching clients. And if you're interested in coaching, just reach out to me and let me know. And we can even schedule a call if you think it's something that's right for you. All right, everybody. Have a wonderful day, and I'll see you tomorrow morning, early, bright and early in the morning. See you then.